Hello, everybody, and welcome to our daily check-in. It's kind of a muggy, yucky day out, but I guess I thought coming outside and getting some fresh air would be good. So um, I want to talk to you guys today about a quote that I read, and I want to connect it to what we're going to talk about. So the quote says, "It is not what you look at that matters; it's what you see." So that was by Henry David Thoreau. So why am I bringing this up? So I've been trying to spend some of my free time. I'll go on social media and I'll look at various things just to kind of get a good giggle or laugh or whatever it is. But unfortunately, a lot of the things that I've been seeing as of late have been very negative, right? So people have been making very negative comments to people on social media, judging them based on their skin color, their gender, their weight, their financial situation. Um, or they're just being mean and making fun of people, and I just don't understand. So I wanted to talk about this quote because what I want to instill in all of you as my students, and anyone happens to be watching this who's a student, I know an adult, you guys already know this, right? So this isn't really for you guys, but um, when you look at people, I want you to get to know them before you make a decision on the type of person that they are. Now, you might see people who you think might not be the nicest, and you get to know them and you find out, no, they're not very nice. Um, but you might also see people that you think are kids who you would never be friends with because you have nothing in common with them, or um, they wouldn't be a good fit for you. And it turns out they're actually the perfect fit for you. Um, here's what I want to kind of say. We did an advisory earlier this year on self-perception. When you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you notice, right? Do you look in the mirror and say, "I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not handsome enough, I'm not good enough"? If you wake up every morning and you look at yourself in that manner, that is very unfortunate, right? So I'm hoping that you look in the mirror and you see yourself somebody who matters, somebody who is smart enough, who is strong enough. Because here's the thing. Um, I think academics are important, don't get me wrong. I think it's important that you learn things, vocabulary, how to write. You should learn math, all the things. You should always try to learn as much as possible. But one thing that matters to me and has always mattered to me is to making you a better human being, which is why we do advisory lessons. And even when I teach topics which are at times very depressing, when we talk about slavery or segregation, or we talk about certain immigration issues, or how Native Americans were treated, how women were treated, um, sometimes I could see it in your faces that you say that's really unfair. Um, Especially when it comes, we learn about groups that are connected to you, almost like in like a physical way, but like you can relate. So I think part of the issue in history is that people do a lot of judging without getting to know people. And I just want you to know that if you go through life just constantly judging people based on what they physically look like, you're going to miss out on so many opportunities for some really good friendships. We do an activity in class called the Four Corner. And that's when I might say, "Oh, your favorite genre, movie or books or music." And then when you go to the corner, I know that there are people who are surprised, like, "Man, I never would have expected you would be over here." And that's the thing, you just don't know. So I'll tell you a story. When I first started teaching for the company that I work for in the summer, when I started using the Four Corner activity, because I would do a lot of these things even prior to I would do it with you guys in the classroom, because I'd want to practice, right? So I asked them their favorite type of music. Now, this was like on day 3, because it's like a 4-day training. This is like on day 3 or day 4, one of those days. And I said rock in one, classical in another, country, and then I said other in the fourth corner. And I noticed that a girl who was super quiet for basically the 3 to 4 days went into other, along with like 3 or 4 other people. So I was like, I wonder what kind of music they listen to. So I went over and I asked her, I said, "So what is the genre of music that you really like?" And this girl who was like so quiet said, "I cannot live without rap music." And I will admit, I was like, whoa. It's like I never would have expected that. But I just from that one activity, I learned a lot about her, and I was able to connect with her for the remainder of the time because I listened to rap music as well at times, and so we started talking about artists, etc. And it was like a way to connect. And the reason why I'm saying that is, when you do certain activities in school and you can work with different students, it gives you an opportunity to learn a little bit about other people because you just don't know who you're going to connect with, right? But it all starts with how you see yourself. When you look in the mirror, I want you to see somebody who is smart enough, who is kind enough, who is caring enough. I want you to see somebody who can make a difference in the world in a positive way. Okay? Um, you know, I like to think that I am a kind of teacher who makes it abundantly clear that I care about your well being, and I hope that I make it abundantly clear that I think character education is important, right? Whether it's through advisory lessons or various life lessons. I've talked in past videos where I've had female students in sixth grade who were like just lighting it up. And then I would see them later and they would act like they didn't know anything. And I couldn't understand that. Like, why would you do that to yourself? You were one of the smartest people that I had that year. And I know a lot of it, it's because they think other people, if they see them as smart, they won't be friends with them, or they might not, when they get older, they might not go on a date with them, or whatever it might be. So they really are taking away from their full potential. And honestly, if people don't want to accept you for who you are, then they really shouldn't be your friends. You'll find people who will accept you for who you are, but it really starts with you. You have to have respect for self, and you have to have pride in yourself, and you have to be willing to see that when you look in the mirror, you are proud with what you see. So, but here's the thing, your teachers go out of their way to make you the best you that you can be, right? At least we hope that's what we try. But the thing with teaching is sometimes we just don't know if we have had the ability to connect with you or make a difference in your life in a positive way. I've had students in the past who I would end the year and feel like I didn't connect with that particular student, and I feel like I failed that student because I really wanted to make a connection. And then sometimes years later, kids who I might have given a hard time because I saw the potential in them, but they didn't see the potential in themselves, will come back and say thank you. And it doesn't happen too often because, you go on with your life, you do other things, you go to high school, you go to college, and you might be in other parts of the country or the world or whatever. But I just want you to know, as this year is coming to an end, this is what we try. We try to have you guys become smarter. We have you guys to be self-motivated. That's what we try, right? We hope that we've made you better human beings. Your parents work really hard to teach you things like etiquette and manners and respect, and that's what parents do, and I think they're doing a good job. We are just here to kind of help and reinforce that, to let you know that outside of the home it's important too, right? In addition to what your parents are already teaching you. And it might not be just your mom and dad, it could be aunts, uncles, siblings, grandparents. It could even be neighborhood friends. It doesn't really matter. We just want you to be the best you can be. And I think what I'm asking from you from this moment forward is just try to be more open-minded, not to just schoolwork. Just be open-minded, open-minded to different cultures, different people, just different things in the world. Just be open-minded. Now, you might, expose yourself to certain things, meaning, different cultures or different people, and it might turn out that those particular individuals or friendships are not ones that you want, and that's okay. I just don't want you to go through life missing out on the opportunity to meet people and do things that would be beneficial for you. So, I just want to kind of end it with this note. When you look in the mirror, know that that is the first person who will help make you better, than you are. That thing you should always say, I'm going to be better today than I was yesterday, and I'm going to be better tomorrow than I am today. Always try to improve yourself. Always try to get more knowledge, more information. Broaden your friendships. Take the time to tell people you care about them. Take the time to tell people that you love them. But most importantly, make sure you look in the mirror and you are proud of what you see. And if you need other people to kind of help you see as I would say, the beauty inside of you, then reach out, because there's nothing wrong with saying, when you look at me, what do you see? Okay? Because sometimes you just don't know, and there are people out there who think you're pretty fantastic, but they don't ever say it. So there's nothing wrong for asking, and you can always start with your family. But until our next check-in video, have a great day, and peace out.